Hey, things is working. We live.
Oh yeah,
Hey, yeah.
like live live.
Like live, live.
All
Got
right,
it up and running.
805, 805 live. Got it, got it. What it do, snackers and snackers? It's your boy Gage. Jokes is in the building, and so is Sin. Say what's up, folks.
What's
What's
happening,
up?
everybody?
Okay, everybody doing good things. Listen, you are now tuned into Loaded Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and talk about all things happening in pop culture. And today,
Today.
we will touch base on Lovecraft Country, among some other things. We're going to talk about Safe Apocalypse because that was quite an adventure over the
hmm
weekend.
hmm
Um, I might have a curveball.
You may have
Just
a
maybe.
curveball. Just maybe.
Just maybe. Just maybe we got something in the tuck.
That where I always keep it. And we're gonna talk a little bit about Disney, their parks and what's going on with them and all that jazz. You know what? Where would you like to start? What feels good to you?
Let's start with Safe Apocalypse, since that's the thing they just had with us over the weekend. Let's start there.
You want to go there first?
Yeah, let's go there.
With that, I'm with that. So, for those of you who are not in the know, Safe Apocalypse was called Nerd Apocalypse,
Right?
and was originally planned to have kicked off back in April,
hmm
and Rona had other plans.
Sure
Yup.
did.
This would have been the third year of Nerd Apocalypse, and with Nerd Apocalypse, what's up, Alfonso? Hey, Tony. I see you frying castle already, Marcus. I know you in there too somewhere. Um, yeah. So, say Nerd Apocalypse is basically a nerd bar crawl. Happens at the power plant live in Baltimore, and it's like 4 or 5 different bars that are open, and there are different activities
hmm
happening outside and inside each bar. There's trivia stuff and karaoke and live bands and cosplay contests and I mean we usually do some kind of a panel. You know, usually a bar is like Harry Potter themed, and another bar is like wrestling themed, and another bar, they got drinks that are Pikachu and Spider
hmm
Man's ashes and
hmm
Wakanda Forever. You know what I mean? They do specialty drinks throughout the bars and so forth, and really, it generally runs all day. And people have an opportunity to just kind of hang out and enjoy their fandom and alcohol.
Yes,
Alcohol.
Um, and it's
plenty of
it's
it.
it's always a really really good time. It's put together by the folks over at Transcendent Events. It's run by Kevin Hop, his wife Holly. They do some really really great stuff. And so this year, it's been a COVID year,
Very
and
COVID
Very
so
true.
year.
Very true.
things have been getting canceled left and right, and you can't really have an event like that tends to be with people just kind of roaming around
hmm
close together
hmm
having drinks. Um,
Yeah.
and so it got postponed a couple of times, and finally, um, within the guidelines and the safety, put forth, by the governor, um, there was a transition made to Safe Apocalypse from Nerd Apocalypse, and so there was seating, and people came in together and sat at their own tables together. People wore masks, and really, um, Transcendent Events really work to try to put on a really good show for people who have been stuck in the house.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah.
People like us who are used to being, you're right, Henry, tattoos day all day. Um, People who are used to going out and being at events, 4 or 5 times already this year, spending a whole weekend spending money and hanging out and getting drunk and talking to friends and just being able to be nerds and geeks and enjoy themselves. And
hmm
so, um, it was really good. We were always supposed to be a part of it. We had to, make some transitional changes to try to
Oh yeah.
make sure we could keep it safe and
Still do what we do.
yeah, but allow everybody to come out and have a good time.
Mm.
There were vendors there. A lot of vendors haven't been able to go out. Sure, Henry being in the chat, speak to that. A lot of vendors have not been able to go out and do shows like they normally do. For a lot of people, it is their living. It's how they do it. They travel and they do shows, all year, and they sell their wares. So this year's had a great impact. And so, Safe Apocalypse it's not the first show we've done all year. We did MagFest.
We managed to get Mag.
Back in January.
Yeah.
We might have snuck in to catch you a little bit. And we went to another Transcendent event, which was Nerd Prom. At the beginning of this year, which was early February. So it was really right before
Need that
all
hat
of this
plug.
stuff kicked off.
Oh, you messing with these joints? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hey, listen. What that means is he's glad you like it. He ain't telling you where he got it. That's
Pretty
not
much.
the plug.
Pretty
That's not
much.
the plug. Hey, listen. I know some things, man. I might be able to hook you up, Marcus. So Safe Apocalypse.
Every week I hook him up.
Ben and I managed to go and work with the team there to jump on stage and have some fun. And we decided to do a couple of quick panels. And see if we can make some people upset, which we're gonna do right now.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, if I can say so, we bodied it. I just got to put that out there. I think we did our damn thing when we went out there. You know what I mean? And had a great time doing it. I think everybody else had a great time too. Just saying.
Sure.
Just saying.
Sure. Yeah, we really had a good time. Look, there were comedians there. There were people singing and performing. The wait staff was phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
They were incredible. Really, just kind of getting to everybody, keeping people distant. Security was great. They almost tried to kick us out of somewhere we were supposed to be. That's how you do.
Right.
Oh, like we're supposed to be here. Like
ran up on us.
Yeah, until we were like, yeah, nah.
Would you hit the fifth element like multipass? Supposed to be here, multipass.
Nah. Just said, oh nah. They told us we could be here.
Pretty much.
Why?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it wasn't really bad. So here's what we did. I'm gonna run y'all down what it is we decided to do. So, based on a panel that we did last year at Ocean City Comic Con, in which we decided to put MCU movies in order, top 10, and we did so with the crowd. We allowed the crowd to come up, make choices, move things around. We had like 45 minutes, an hour to do it. We had a great time. We vetoed people. We let people rock, paper, scissors to challenge each other. Like, it was phenomenal. We haven't anywhere near that kind of time.
I would say go look up the video up and on YouTube. We do have the whole panel.
Oh yeah, whole panel's up there. Good times.
Oh,
missed those times.
Yeah.
So what we decided to do this time was, Safe Apocalypse had two sessions. They had a 12 to 4 session and a 5 to 9 session. Within each session, we had 2
20-minute
sessions of our own.
Yeah.
2 20-minute segments. So in the first go round, we had the crowd help us choose the top 10 movie franchises of all time. And I was okay with the results.
Yeah, after looking at the list, I'm actually not upset with the list and the way that it actually turned out. Like,
you know what? I'm so happy to hear you say that, Joe, because
still not happy with number 5.
Somebody.
You probably not happy with number 10.
Somebody.
I expected number 10, to be honest. 5 was that curveball.
Sure you did. So here's what I want to do. Let's run it down. Like, let's actually talk about top 10 franchises.
Gotcha.
Jokes. Let's start with number 10.
Gotcha. I'm about to bring it up on screen for the folks to see. Number 10.
Uh, listen, Heather, it was definitely some drunk
Oh
people
yeah.
in the
Oh
building.
yeah.
Hey, drunk stuff
Listen,
can
let me keep it
contribute.
a
Hey,
buck.
no lie.
It was one young lady who,
The birthday girl?
like an hour in,
Oh, the
Done.
birthday girl.
was like
Yeah.
passing out of her table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like barely like it's like the shows had barely even started yet. She was
Hey,
done.
it's birthday. When it's birthday, it's like, oh well.
Oh, it was her 21st,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and she meant every minute of it.
Ooh,
And
buddy.
it was so bad at
I'm
one
talking
point. At
escort her
one
to the
point,
bathroom.
Doc was like, he was on stage. He was like, man, am I boring her? Is she falling asleep? Like, she was right in the front. Like,
Like, nah, she
front.
drunk.
They were like, nah, she had 4 drinks already. It's only been like 45 minutes. Like,
What?
yeah, imagine if we weren't enforcing social distancing.
Ooh.
Oh, buddy. 4 with a double.
Look, there go
Hey,
Buck.
Buck,
Introduce me to
relax,
her.
Relax, Buck. Hey, so jokes up first. Here's number 10. Number 10 is chosen by the folks that say Apocalypse. Fast and the Furious. You okay, Sin?
I'm good.
Ooh,
I'm
buddy.
good.
That would have been your number 1.
Nah, but it was in my top 3.
Of course, for him, it would be in his top 3.
Whatever, it would be my choice. It'd be my top 3.
All right, so we're gonna make number 10 small right there. We're gonna put it right there up in the corner for everybody to keep track of it.
So Ellis, this list these are the top 10 movie franchises as chosen by those who attended Safe Apocalypse over this weekend. So essentially what happened is, the way I had to do it, just because of the way time was limited, was in the first 20-minute segment, we basically just showed everybody what the choices were. And under normal circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
the list would have been a lot longer. And we would have allowed people to pick and choose and move things around. Like when we did the MCU one, all 22 movies were there, and we allowed people to move things and bump stuff down or whatever. We just didn't have time for that. So we picked like 15 or 20 franchises, and then we personally had to narrow it down to 10, and then only give them 10. Because
Nah, it was more than a single tier.
oh, nah, it
on
was
that
more
one.
than just
That was more than a single tier.
I'm gonna tell you that on stage, it was giving them a hard time. When we got off stage, people was like, "Listen, man, I feel for you. I think Fast and Furious shouldn't have been number 10 anyway. Hey, man, get that joint off the list altogether. Lucky I even let that joint be on there, because I didn't even listen. And Ellis, don't play with me. I didn't even put Spider-Man on the list. We didn't even put it in the list. So don't start. It's not a thing. Just relax.
One of the other favorites made the list though, so
Yeah, number 9 was Star Trek. Now, bear in mind that this includes all of the films, not just the brand new ones. Right. It's the full run of them. So that was number 9, and people seemed okay with that. Like nobody really was upset, about that. Number 8 was the Aliens franchise. So I actually thought this might end up a little higher on the list, and I felt like it might get a little extra boost just because those movies are a bit spooky, and it's spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought maybe we're gonna get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be higher because when we showed it initially, like people's reaction to it, like, okay, they're liking the aliens joint, okay.
Right. It was actually the first one on the list. It's the first thing that the crowd saw was aliens, because I revealed the list alphabetically just to kind of not, So number 7 was Back to the Future, which honestly, I know it's a beloved franchise, but probably really should have been 10. Don't let that go to your head, son. But here's the thing. It's a 3-movie franchise with only 2 good movies. I mean, those 2 are good. They're really solid.
The third one
on stage, I was like,
shaky.
Back to the Future isn't even the best time travel franchise. Like Terminator's a better time travel franchise than Back to whatever. Anyway, I see you, Greg. Alien and Aliens and everything else. All of that other crap that they did that's also Aliens, Alien versus Predator, all of it counts.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately.
number 6 was the X-Men franchise. Now, bear in mind,
That could have been 10.
X-Men franchise, you wildin'.
I don't know about that.
You wildin'. Hey, listen, pound for pound, X-Men franchise is better than Fast and Furious. You tripping?
Shit.
How this?
I put on
Nope.
facts.
It's real. Like,
Nope.
the first 2 are clean. The third one is not as terrible as people make it out to be.
Disgusting.
First Class is incredible.
Mm-hmm. First Class and Days of Future Past.
Also incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And the X-Men franchises include the Wolverine ones,
Yep.
even Origins,
Even Origins.
but they fixed it. And Logan, Jai puts that joint
Woo.
like, but I mean, it is what it is. We let the people pick.
Hey.
So
Yep.
Now this one.
I would basically I called on volunteers from the crowd. We'll pick a volunteer, and I would tell them ahead of time, here's what you're gonna do. You are choosing a franchise to go in slot number 10. Once it goes in there, it's locked.
That's
You can't
it.
move it, you can't change it, you
Right.
can't rearrange it. That's what it is. And the next person I would say, okay, come up here and pick a franchise to go in slot number 9, slot number 8, and so forth. Until we got to 3. So listen, James Bond does count, and we considered having James Bond on the list, but James Bond
Yep,
did
he
not
got
actually
cut.
make
Yeah, he got cut from the
our
list.
list. We went back and forth, got cut from the list. So next up, number 5 is the MCU. And I want you to know
Woo.
that the person responsible for putting this franchise in number 5 almost didn't make it out.
I believe
Pretty
that.
much. Pretty much.
Hey, Ellis, you're right. Logan does beat every Fast movie that exists. You're right. It's a fact. Yeah, man. Yeah, PDA. Yeah, Logan takes a cake. I'm trying to tell you. X-Men over Fast all day. They on you. They on you, Sam. What you gonna do? Nothing. I just
Nothing.
like
I don't feel that way. That's all.
yeah, MCU. Look, people was upset. I was just like, here's the deal. This y'all list.
Yeah, so y'all
fault.
y'all own this.
This is your fault.
Anything here is y'all fault.
So number 4, Lord of the Rings. I mean, all right.
Okay. Yeah, like, okay.
All right. Now, top 3. Number 3, the Harry Potter franchise. And I want to say that for a brief moment, I thought there's a lot of people who are just upset with what's going on
Mm-hmm.
with Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling and all that kind of stuff. And look, the reality of it is,
Yeah, we put the list on the screen, but so everybody can see it.
yeah, everybody can see it.
Yeah, what to pick from.
Yeah, so, hey, Ellis, relax. No, there was no trickery. Honestly, if I was Spider-Man, that would have been all the way at the top of the list. What are you talking about? So Harry Potter, I thought, was a solid number 3.
Correct.
Now, here's how this worked. When we got down to the last 2, rather than just let somebody pick, put this one in second, what I did was I had 2 people play for the last 2 franchises that were left. So one franchise was the Batman franchise, which includes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're not talking animated, like we're talking like
It's live action.
Live
action
action.
movie.
Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, Bale, the whole 9.
Yeah. Yeah,
That flick.
That flag included.
It's included.
and Star Wars. Those are the 2 franchises left. So the way we did this was got a volunteer out of the crowd who wanted to play for Batman and a volunteer who wanted to play for Star Wars. And actually, the person who was playing for Batman is actually a local wrestling champion. He wrestles in like the CWE, and he was dressed as Batman.
Yeah.
So it was perfect.
Perfect.
So we had the 2 of them stand up, social distance, and face off rock, paper, scissors style to see who got to put their franchise that they were playing for where. Batman won, and still put Batman in slot
There's
number
number
2.
2. Isn't that
Batman ends up
gold?
in slot number 2,
Yep.
meaning that Star Wars ended up as the number 1 franchise. Which, look, I'm okay with it.
I'm not mad at that.
I was cool with it.
For what franchises are on this list,
Mm-hmm.
the order is actually pretty.
It's not bad. I'm really not mad at this order at all. Even though I love the MCU.
Listen, man, Kill Bill don't have enough movies.
It's not. Nah.
It's not a franchise.
You would almost just have to be like, where's all his movies? Like, you just have to be like, where's the Tarantino movies? Like, you just have to
then go from there. I agree with that.
Tarantino universe, yeah.
But again, we had a list that was much longer. It's just that we were restricted to really only having 2 20-minute sessions. And actually, what they wanted us to do initially was try to do this entire thing in one 20-minute session.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
That just wasn't going to work, yeah.
So here's what we. All right, I'll take that, Ellis. So here's what we did for that was the first session. For the second session, we decided we're gonna try to do something spooky. It's getting dark, whatever. We close to Halloween. Top 10 vampires, movie vampires of all time.
That was fun.
This was a very, 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 very interesting list.
Oh yes.
Listen, you were right. Spider-Man should be on the list. Tried to not, I didn't put it on the list because people. You know what I mean? Everybody already knows where it goes. You know what I'm saying? They know it's number 1. We don't have to rub it in people's faces. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine what it would be like right now if Spider-Man would have been at the top of that list and Fast at the bottom of that list? We had to kick somebody off the show today. We had to kick somebody off the show.
One of those I just call in sick. Yeah, I can't do it today.
My man Ellis said Blake better be number 1. Listen, Ellis, we didn't make the choice.
Hey, all I'm saying is just keep calm.
This is strictly up to the crowd. Just
keep calm. So give me a second. I'm gonna erase all these out of here right quick, so we can start with a clean slate right quick.
Okay.
So listen, we handled this the exact same way. First 20 minutes, we went up, introduced it to the crowd because it was a different set of people.
Right.
And let them know this is what we're doing and showed them the images of all the choices that they had. Said, listen, y'all think about it. I'll get a little more drunk. We'll be back in like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do this again. Y'all gonna help us put this in order. So, hey, listen, I'm not mad at you swapping MCU and Pats. That wouldn't be bad either. Hey, listen, I feel you, Ellis. I feel you.
Hey, just prepare. Just prepare yourself. Just prepare yourself. That's all.
Are you ready? You ready, Joe?
Let's do this.
I'm ready.
Right. So here's how this went down. Number 10, Edward Cullen from Twilight. Now listen, we had a lot of choices for vampires. Even if you don't like Twilight vampires, sparkly vampires, daytime vampires, whatever.
Vampire.
He had to go on the list. Yeah, he had to go on the list.
Popular,
yeah.
like we just, you know what I mean?
Couldn't do it without putting it on there.
Number 9 was Angel from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which again, not a bad choice. Now number 8 is David from the Lost Boys, which this crowd was not a crowd I think old enough to know.
Know about Lost Boys?
Lost Boys, because they was just kind of like,
get that dude off there. We don't know who he is.
Okay, but Sutherland, like, just
Jack Bauer. Yeah, he was a vampire.
Yeah, like it didn't mean anything to them. But Keeper's on the list. I'm just saying, David, he's on the list. He's number 8.
Right.
Number 7, Vlad the Impaler from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Ellis, relax, man. The Mandarin for sucking the life out of Iron Man. Actually, he was fired.
Let's not go into that conversation. Let's.
I mean, we can, but not now.
No.
So Vlad the Impaler. Number 6 was Lestat.
Mm-hmm. And if he was a vampire.
which Interview with a Vampire, classic film. Again, we had choices. We tried to keep it to only one vampire from any individual franchise. We didn't put multiples from Buffy or multiples, you know what I mean? Like, we tried to just pick the ones that we felt like were the ones that people seem to like the most from a particular franchise. Because it was kind of tough to narrow this list down. I'm just gonna tell you now, Eddie Murphy, Vampire in Brooklyn, didn't make it. He was in our original list.
He was.
He didn't make the 10 that we pushed. I'm just gonna tell you now. I don't want anybody to be upset. All right, now listen. Number 5. But before
this was
listen, Slim, who did this, almost died.
I fried it. I fried his ass on stage.
Almost died, bro.
Oh my god.
So number 5, Selene from Underworld, and the crowd was like,
right,
"Get him out of here, Slim! You gotta go!" Like I said, Slim, do you realize how close you sit to the stage? You know how many people you gotta get past?
That's a bad idea.
To leave, bro.
Like, his girl was so embarrassed. I'm like, look at your girl, man. She got to sit here with your stupid ass this whole time. Like,
real talk. As soon as he did that, the girl sitting there was like,
I don't know you, Slim.
I don't know you. I was like, hey, did she drive? Because you don't have a ride.
You ain't got a ride.
He was like, nah, he drove. I was like, all right, you good. You know what I mean? Like, but she ain't going home with you.
Yeah, we told him up for that one.
So check this out. Number 4, Count Chocula. So they loved it.
They did.
So they loved it.
They did.
Count Chocula made number 4. Number 3, Count Von Count from Sesame Street. Yes, he has a full name. Yes, he is Count
You
Von
didn't know
Count.
that.
People on say like, hold on.
Yeah.
He
Found that one out.
He's not just Count. Yeah. 2 counts in my name. Straight up. I don't know how many of y'all would be a fan of this specifically, but the crowd knew. So, again, got down to number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, we had to let people choose. I got somebody to play for one, got somebody to play for the other. Rock, paper, scissors. It was dope because the person playing for one was up in the balcony.
Yeah.
The other one was down on the ground. It was the most long distance rock, paper, scissors you've ever seen. It was so real. Number 2, Marceline from Adventure Time, who real talk is a G. And so, of course,
you take a stop with the Fast and Furious stuff, are you?
Yeah, your Fast and Furious stuff ain't gonna stop.
Gonna be a thing all day.
Right.
Number 1, the homie Blade.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
Crowd was so happy. No two ways about it. Blade, best vampire. Y'all should have been to say Apocalypse.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was a good time.
We did. We really had a really, really good time. I really enjoyed we really enjoyed ourselves. So hopefully, we can do it again soon, sometime before it gets too cold. But let me tell you something.
I know. Whew.
It was chilly outside.
I was good, but you was not having it.
Slim, listen,
I saw a picture. You found the manhole cover had like the steam coming out.
Bro, I was standing on that thing.
Between the manhole cover,
hands down, looking like Iron Man, trying to keep yourself in hover mode.
And the restaurant had that heat on like 1,000.
Hey, it was so good in there. It was so toasty in there.
No,
bro.
sir, you can have that.
Yeah, straight up. Man, they brother dark. Black lives matter. Blade lives matter, dog.
Hey.
That's what we doing. Straight up. So look, that was Apocalypse. We had a great time. We really had a good time doing this. We are actually planning to try to do something else like this. We were gonna do the same thing. Going to Ocean City Comic-Con in December. Just like the MCU, but we were going to do all of the DC animated films. So we still going to try to find a way
to do that one,
make that happen. because that joint's gonna be crazy. Jay Roberts, what
Welcome
did you
to
miss?
the party.
Well,
Oh man. Let's see. Here's what you need to know. You right, Henry. Skinny people problem. It was cold out there, bro.
It was cold out there.
Hey, Leah. Eric, what's up, man? So, what we just did, we went through. We had Say Apocalypse over the weekend. We went out, had a bunch of people come Power Plant Live. It was an awesome time, and we had people put top 10 lists together for top movie franchises and top 10 lists of the best vampires. To kind of give you the nutshell, franchises. Fast and the Furious was number 10. Star Wars was number 1.
mm-hmm.
Or vampires.
Edward Cullen was number 10.
Edward Cullen was number 10. And Blade was number 1.
Blade was number 1.
You know, pretty solid list. Count Chocula made the list. He was like 4. Count Von Calvin Sesame Street was like number 3. It was we had a good time. It was a really good time. That didn't happen. What are you talking about, man?
Oh man.
I'm the one who put Batman on the list, Ellis.
Oh man, that's funny.
Black.
Oh man.
Batman would have been way down on the list if Spider-Man was on the list. So listen, here's what I want to do. I want to talk for a minute about Lovecraft Country because the finale just wrapped up on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first things first, there will not be spoilers for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't watch the finale yet. Because trying to watch Lovecraft Country, if you're unaware, it's not a thing for children. And
You haven't figured that
my
out.
child doesn't like to stay out of the room. She just keeps. I'm like, yeah, we can't.
Can't
right
do
now.
this. No.
Can't right now. But Sin did finish the series and watch the finale. Jokes, did you?
I didn't. I actually decided to pull a Sin for this. I'm actually gonna binge watch this whole thing this weekend.
That's cool. Cause so what will happen is we are going to do a spoiler. Like about this entire series, we're gonna do a special cast that's just about Lovecraft Country. But I do kind of want to get your thoughts, not necessarily specifically on the finale, Sin, but on the series as a whole. And there are a couple reasons for that, and I'll get into that in a minute. But just kind of give me your feelings on the series as a whole.
Overall, I enjoyed it. I did have some issues with some things. I do think I'm gonna go back and rewatch the series. After having that initial watch, just initial shock of everything. Now I want to go back and watch it to really focus on some of the aspects of the structure and maybe storytelling that's kind of like still bugging me. That I just kind of couldn't wrap my head around.
For the series as a whole? Okay.
Yeah, for the series as a whole. So I'm definitely going to probably sit down and do that this week while you guys are catching up on it or whatever. So I get ready for that. But overall, I thought it was I thought the show was good. You know what I mean? Like at the end of it all, I wasn't it doesn't have me jump up and down, scream oh my god, I can't wait for season 2. I'm gonna watch it when it comes out, but I don't have that feeling coming off of it. Oh my god, I need season 2 right now. I can't wait for it. You know what I mean? Just the way it all kind of turned out. And it was for me, it was okay, kind of saw this stuff coming. So
got it.
Cool.
So here's what I'm gonna say. Leah, if you don't know about Lovecraft Country, I highly suggest you look into it. If you have HBO Max, you should watch it. Ty, you're right. Relax. I'm gonna take care of that. Ellis, you didn't. Does that X mean you didn't like it? Does that mean X gonna give it to you? What does that mean? What does that mean? Just the letter X. You'd rather watch X-Men? What's happening here? So what is the genre? That is actually sort of a good question.
So it kind of falls into a couple categories.
Yeah, it's kind of it's horror, thriller, sci-fi, adventure.
That's a
what I would say.
That's a good.
But also touches on racism and race relations because of the time period that it takes place in. It's really good, and a lot of what's there and the lore that they speak about does come from H.P. Lovecraft, who, I don't know. I think people know that Lovecraft was a super racist. You know what I'm saying? But he was a super racist, and it's basically it's almost an all black cast with his name on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's doing some things. I would definitely say it's worth a
It's
look.
scary.
It's scary.
I would say
So
it's
here's the
more
thing.
creepy than scary to me, and I'm the one that don't watch that type of stuff.
And that's what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
saying that like you don't watch spooky, creepy, scary, any of that. So to hear you say it was good but not whatever, I'm interested in knowing what kept you watching. And you won't even play games that are spooky. Let me box this up for y'all real quick.
Okay.
Ben and I have known each other for decades.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm gonna date us a little bit.
I think I know where you're going.
We used to go to Blockbuster to rent
Okay, this one.
anime and stuff like that. And we were going Blockbuster. I want you to just understand how serious this is about he don't do spooky, he don't do scary, nothing. When we would walk past the horror section, this man would physically flip every single video on the wall so that the creepy pictures on the front of the tapes, the VHSs, would not be facing out.
Dude,
He literally made somebody's job more difficult because they had to.
You're horrible.
Him
You're horrible.
undo it. I'm talking about.
Hey, it is what it is.
That couldn't have worked 100% of the time. I know you probably flipped one of them cases over, and the back of it had an even spookier image than the front of it.
I'm the guy that can avoid spoilers. Okay, trust me, I'm good at this.
This is one of those things where, it's kind of like, of course I had that same, what are you doing? Nah, I can't. These joints I gotta flip these joints. Told the guys, nah. Listen, we would come back to my house. We rent a game or some anime or something, watch it, get done. It's like 1 a.m. You know what happens when you turn off your game system in the late 90s, which is connected to your CRT? You know what happens when you turn it off and it's 1 a.m?
Complete darkness.
Tales from the Crypt is on. I'm out.
Hey!
Deuces.
Leave the room. Deuces. Can't do it.
I'm sorry, Robert, but hey, I had to do what I got to do. I don't do that stuff.
Hey, listen.
Could have just avoided the whole section. Could have went around.
Listen, could have. Didn't. Could just walk through the section, flip it.
Man.
Mind you, not looking at the shelf. This is a real thing. So the fact that Sin watched Lovecraft Country in its entirety is super interesting to me. You have some splaining to do, Lucy.
You got some splaining to do.
What? Look, we're in the pop culture space. I knew we were going to want to come here and talk about it, so,
Did you watch American Horror Story?
No.
Why not?
No.
We in the pop culture.
But you know what? Is one thing. All right, that's not something I feel like we would talk about. I don't know,
And we could.
Gage, I think you're gonna have to add this to the docket. You're gonna have to add this to the docket.
But you know what? What's weird? I love Supernatural.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I love Supernatural. So that's very weird. I love that show, but I don't mess with scary stuff. I know why I got into Supernatural.
Yeah, but Supernatural, I feel like, is almost like watching Blade. Because in Supernatural, you're watching the hero's story.
Right, after the first season, it's probably scary. Yeah. The first season was, I would say, it's scariest. Then after that, okay, it's just emotions of things. You get it. It's, so you're not, scared like that anymore.
Supernatural is charmed with guys.
Pretty much.
Charmed. I mean, that's...
It's all facts.
Yeah.
They said no scary stuff. You don't do no scary stuff, huh, Leah?
I'm with you.
Interesting.
I'm with you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was a dude working at Blockbuster was hot anytime Sin walked in the room.
Dog, saw you just walk in.
I don't care.
Sin, you would have gotten Jazzy J thrown out that store. Like I wouldn't. Door would have came on. You would have been flying out the front.
And look, I do it. I still do it. Like we go out, I see like if I'm walking past the section, I see something I like Best Buy, something like either I got to get out there quick or them things is getting thrown off the shelf. Like one or the other, I got to get away.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I don't. I mean, hey, listen, dude. I bet it is. I believe that is your jam. I really do. It's not his at all. Leah's like, nah, hey, I ain't with it.
Do your thing. I ain't mad at it.
Like an adult Scooby Doo. It is. Yeah. It's quite like an adult Scooby Doo. When you can do an episode where you're like, violent. They broke the fourth wall like enough in it to be, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff. But here's the thing. What's interesting to me is that like part of the reason this seems to be in the zeitgeist is just because there's not like a lot of black horror. Like we had like Tales from the Hood.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's old school. It's probably more funny than it was scary. But what?
No. Doctor who gives us says so no horror movie marathon for charity.
Oh nah, but listen.
We supposed to play some horror.
My man Sin said there's this game that's out called Phasmophobia.
Mm-hmm.
And he's claiming that if we make enough money by a certain time frame for Extra Life, he will play it by himself.
Yes, I will.
That's what he's saying.
He
also said he was going to he's going to do the one chip challenge, and
that ain't never happened.
So,
and I was going to order one too. I may have one.
I am making up for that last year by I will play Phasmophobia by myself and get scared.
I mean, you can make a choice: get scared or eat a chip.
I'm with it. Welcome back, Eric.
Uncanny Nerd, relax.
Nah, you know what it is.
All night? That's not a thing. That's not a thing. That we're not doing that all night. We got like a 2-hour block. Here's the thing. That 2-hour block of Phasmophobia could turn into like a 3-hour block.
On facts.
It's 1 hour of us just laughing at sin.
Probably.
I'm gonna have a gigantic hard drive to record that whole section. Like
you gotta get. Hey, listen. Leprechaun in the Hood.
I got this creepy ass cat in here too. Oh my god.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Jump up in your lap while you playing.
Does Candyman count as a black horror film?
We were talking about that earlier. Like, I've never seen it, so I can't really speak on it. I just know a black dude was the horror person in it. That's all I know.
I mean, he's the bad guy.
He's a bad guy, so I mean, I think that'll float into it.
Did you ever say Candyman in the mirror 5 times?
What, I look stupid?
Okay.
No,
not stupid, just scared.
No, I'm not tempting that.
It was like Tales from the Hood, Bones, Vampire in Brooklyn, and Candyman. Like that's pretty much it.
In no time, never played Biohazard, Resident Evil Biohazard. Not played
just now. You never played Resident Evil?
Biohazard.
No, he hasn't.
Like
Biohazard,
the first person shooter.
Most recent.
Yeah, no, I'm not playing that.
Yeah, no. I got the right question. Our donations to interview part of the overall? Yes. So you can donate to the team as a whole, or you can donate to us individually. And what happens is we individually play for different hospitals. So they are all hospitals that are in Children's Miracle Network. So we play for individual hospitals. So if you donate to one of us individually, then it goes specifically to the hospital that we're playing for. If you donate to the team, it just goes to Children's Miracle Network as a whole.
Right.
And they will disperse. What's up, Banks? Long time,
hey.
So I feel like one of the things about Lovecraft is that I just think Jordan Peele is getting a lot of extra love right now for doing horror and doing like black horror specifically. And I don't really know that there's a difference. But there is. You know what I mean? to some extent. I think one of the things that Lovecraft Country does very well is it, for some reason, as a period piece, it just feels really accurate.
It does.
And it actually pulls like directly from history. Not in the same way that like the Amityville Horror is based on a true story. Not like that, but like on this year, these dates, this thing happened, these people were involved kind of thing. And it kind of interweaves Black history into the horror aspects of it. And I mean, it's it's aliens and wizards and
it's a lot. Yeah.
Ghosts and like it's all over the place. But I think that's also one of the things that I like about it is that it doesn't pigeonhole itself. You are following the stories of several main characters, but it almost feels like when you would watch Tales from the Crypt, how like every week it was a different story about different people that they didn't interconnect. So the things that are happening to them feel a lot like these. I mean, they are connected, but these kind of disenfranchised pieces that follow one group of people. So I really like it. I mean, I like what it is. Again, we're going to get into spoiler territory at some point. We're not going to do that now. But we got about 10 minutes left. And there's really only one other thing that's on the docket that I want to discuss. And it is a little bit of a left turn. But we've been talking about on the shows over the last couple of weeks about what's been happening with like Disney and Disney Plus and streaming services and paying for this and paying for that and all that kind of stuff, and like where the money is coming from for a lot of these companies to keep moving. I don't know.
Twilight Zone's already out, Anthony. I think Twilight Zone's already out and aired.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Twilight Zone it's certainly old. I mean, it's been redone.
Yeah, but Jordan
Peele redid it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's been done. If you are old enough to remember Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories, Lovecraft Country feels kind of like a combination of Amazing Stories and Tales from the Crypt. Kind of, it's a little fantastical, but also, yeah, I mean, that's what it is. So, Disney is having issues in California because the governor put some very, very strict regulations on the park and reopenings and so forth. And so, like right now, Disney is in heated battle with them. And so, I mean, Disneyland is closed. Disney's not happy, and I understand, right? I'm going to be honest and say that I think a lot of this has to do with what we're seeing happening in Florida.
Yeah.
And them just being like, oh, yeah, just open it all up.
Open it all up.
And let's
open the
wrestling.
floodgates.
Let's have wrestling, y'all.
Wrestling.
Yeah, like even WWE starting to catch flack because apparently on one of the news stations in Florida, WWE has like 3 of the hot zones on their list for locations that are hot that are problems. Full Sail, Amway Arena, where they're currently doing Raw and SmackDown from, and the Performance Center. They're all on the list. Terrible.
Here's the thing. I don't want to get into the politics of what this is. Technically, you know what I mean. The governor in California basically sent like 2 teams to go investigate the parks that Disney has, and basically said, you guys can reopen when your counties hit these levels and can do A, B, and C. And what's bananas is how stuff like this is going to affect the way we're able to consume pop culture for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely.
Because companies like Disney make so much. Look, theme parks in and of themselves are buckets of margin. They're just buckets full of margin.
Just money pits. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, when you walk into a theme park and it would be disgusting at a theme park if they had actual sidewalks, like regular sidewalks. But there is also something to the idea that when you're in a theme park, everything is blacktop. They're just baking you.
Yep.
They lock you in. The sun is beaming down, holding all of that heat. It is multitudes of degrees hotter at any theme park. I don't care how open it is. Multitudes of degrees hotter at any theme park than it is outside of the theme park. Period. And bottled water is like $12. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're not leaving.
And it just
you're not going.
It don't even be name brand water either.
Let me just.
And usually there's nothing near that you can walk through, and let us walk across the street and go get some over there. Nah,
all like this is ours.
Yeah, you locked in with these prices.
You are right, Eric, and I feel you, Leah. And yeah, no shade. There's no shade at theme parks. I mean, there's a little like if you go to Busch Gardens has shade. However, Busch Gardens is all hills. You are walking up and down hills.
Workout.
The entire time you will be thirsty. That's how it works. That is like.
Then they catch you in the long lines, and you get to that when those long lines they go back and forth, and you get to that one end that's got the vending machine, and you're looking at it like, I want to spend this $8 on this vending machine because once we start moving, I can't get back to it.
You want to spend that $8 at that vending machine real quick.
That money.
If you don't know, what's up, Kay? Let me tell you something. I think I was at Kings of Mean. Was it Kings of Mean when I called you, Sin? I was like Kings of Mean.
Yeah, no, wait. Or was it Busch Gardens?
Busch Gardens.
Yeah, it's Busch Gardens.
Like 3 years ago.
I knew he was going to. Once you got into this, I was like, he gonna go back there with this one because this was ridiculous.
Hey, Slim. They had a Chick-fil-A inside the joint. All right, let's go to Chick-fil-A. Right? 4 meals, dog. And they're not even full, like, they're not even real meals. Like, you can't get, like, you got to kind of a la carte piece them together. 4 meals. Myself, 4 children.
Oh, jeez.
Hold up.
$90, dog.
Bruh!
$90. I didn't buy a large anything, Slim.
Regular or smalls all the way around.
Regular. Oh.
$90.
Oh.
That is ridiculous.
I don't even know how, like,
that better been
cashiers
the best
work
damn
that
chicken
joint
sandwich you
straight
ever
back.
had.
I know the look on your face. You probably looked at her like, I'd have choked your ass right now.
I know. I called you. Oh, I called you.
Oh, yeah. You had to bring that one.
I call you. Yo, I just spent $90 at Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, it's not a game. Like, y'all think it's expensive to take your family to the movies? Like, we complain about that on this show all the time. You got a family, y'all going to the movies, you easily spending $100, buy tickets and popcorn and whatever else. No, Slim. Go to the park. Pay a couple $100 or more to get into the park, and then try to eat. It's a disaster. There's so much money being made inside of theme parks.
Yep.
That this will absolutely have an effect on whether or not Black Widow goes straight to video. Straight up. It's just no two ways about it.
Yeah.
We gotta get this money.
That's a lot of revenue they're losing out on.
You gotta keep, I mean, look, if you're Disney, you just created a full-on park for Star Wars. Like, you just, but you can only do that on the strength of movies that you're putting out that are coming into the theater. If those movies weren't coming out and doing well, you're not doing that. Think about how many years ago they purchased Star Wars. Disney purchased Star Wars. They could have built that a decade ago.
That's on facts.
No, sir. Last year, bro. They're building as we speak. We're building
Right.
an Avengers campus. Right? To be basically just like what was going on with Star Wars. They are supposed to have
facts. Could have had a Death Star by now.
Wasp and Spider-Man literally swinging around live action above the jump. That's not cheap. You expect people to go, You expect to have merchandise you can only get there.
Yep.
And you expect to tie it to Black Widow, which was supposed to have come out months ago.
Last year.
Right now, what's the Happy Meal toys at McDonald's?
Avengers.
They're like Avengers something.
It's all MCU characters.
Yeah.
What? There's no movies out.
Nope.
Can't undo those deals. Those merchandising deals and things are in place. Now they got to pay for it. How much money do you think they're making off Happy Meal toys? I'm just saying. What do you think McDonald's paid them? Have the exclusive rights to have the Happy Meal toys that McDonald's wouldn't let them back out of?
Some stupid.
We'll wait and do it later when y'all finally put Black Widow out. No. There's no way that the fact that they're unable to open their parks and operate them regularly, because even if they could open the parks, they can't operate them at the same capacity
Right.
that they had before. They just let go of like 28,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
The money they're losing has to come back somewhere. So now there is going to be an absolute, all right, we need to relook at Hulu. We need to relook at Disney Plus, and we need to figure out how we're going to make this money back. We got to figure out how we're going to charge you. Immediately, Soul is going straight to Disney Plus. Right? Straight to streaming services.
Right.
Y'all can pay for it. We're not putting it in theaters. We're not spending that money. It's not happening. Theaters are shutting down. So then what do you do?
They gotta figure it out.
Gotta go.
They're gonna have.
They gotta figure it out. Yeah, that's a lot of money you gotta recoup.
I mean, look, you're right. I mean, there are multiple theaters that are allowing you right now, like the Alamo, to pay as a group and go to the theater if you want, and a lot of them will let you watch what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can bring the movie theater in Annapolis here has been doing it for a long time. Prices is just very different now. And you can pay to watch something that they have, or you can bring your own. They just stick it in a DVD player and put it on the projector.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, it can be done, and you could do it, and you could do it with your friends and split it, you know, like $200 between 10 people ain't so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to do it that bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just so y'all can have some time out. Oh, my man Marcus said, yeah, let's get that. Let's get that Power Rangers going. Yeah, let's not. Let's not do that.
It's getting rebooted again.
Yeah, I know. Why are we doing that?
Hasbro.
I'm okay with what's happening with the comics with Boom Studios. I'm so okay with what
they're doing.
That actually looks cool.
I'm looking forward to what Hasbro, what they're gonna do their spin on it, because just with the newest show that's getting ready to come on, it's actually gonna be like an actual series and not like this watered down 20 episode split like after like 5 seasons and it takes like 2 years to come out. So I'm eager to see what Hasbro does.
What?
Gloss over the fact that Cage stresses the rhythm and motion. Oh shit!
I don't even know. Bro. I get down like you don't even know, bro.
That's funny. I just watched that. I just watched that episode of American Dad like 2 nights ago.
Yeah, you're right, Mario. Yeah, AMC's doing it. That's the problem, is the limited choice of movies. Right? Is like, but again, they got to do those deals with the distribution houses to make sure that they can get those films and you know, lock those deals in place. And if you just basically become a house that lets people come in and bring you, like, those deals a lot of times are bent or based on people buying like preset packages of concessions or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, they don't really make their money on movie tickets anyway. It comes from the concessions. So, you know, we didn't. I mean, not that we didn't track how many tickets we sold when I worked in a movie theater, but we absolutely every night counted everything in concession. Every night, every cup, every popcorn bag, every bag of Skittles, everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything that was at the counter and everything that was upstairs in the cage behind, like everything, because that's how you track your money. You just, because it's all in the concessions. Ticket sales are what they are, but you know, for my Best Buy Blue folks, organic growth, right? How can you make more money off the same number of people? Because you can only sell, you know how many seats you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the finite amount of money you can make if you sell out a theater. Like that's not going to change unless it's a matinee and you're getting less. You know what I mean? But you know you're more likely to fill it. But you can only afford to do matinees because people spend more money on concessions because they paid less to get into the theater. Like that's the way that math works. So, you know, I just my man, 486, bro. You know what it is. Yeah, I mean, look, at some point, I think sooner than later, I would imagine most companies will probably hit the end of their fiscal year at like the end of January, beginning of February. For most companies, it's somewhere around there. A lot of those companies' first quarter starts in like March, something like that. So usually you have to be able to report to your shareholders what you're doing, what you did for this quarter, what your plan is to make up whatever you lost for the quarter, and how you're going to recoup that or whatever going into the first quarter of the next year.
Right.
So when by the end of January, I expect that we're going to hear some things and see some things that are very different in terms of how they distribute the products that we consume.
Absolutely.
It's going to be so different because right now you can't rely on any movie that said it was coming out that you thought was going to be in the theater.
Nope.
Right now you can't. You need to figure out where you're going to stream it, who you're going to buy it from, and if you're willing to spend pretty beans for it.
Wonder Woman is not coming out in December.
No, Christmas Day, you're going to get that Christmas Day. It's going to be a lump of coal.
Coming out.
It ain't one. You get a lump of coal.
There's no way. Like, it can't happen. Yeah. I mean, it could happen.
But nah.
So
that thing behind the paywall. Just HBO Max, paywall, $30. Yeah. Shit, $40.
I mean, like, how hard would it be to get, like, Gal Gadot to record a 20-minute interview or something and just slap that joint on the beginning of the movie or at the end? Hey, if you buy it today, you get this special interview with Gal that you can't see anywhere else, whatever. You chop like 2 minutes of it, throw it on YouTube. Here's a teaser for it. You know what I mean? And, like, just something, man. You know what I mean? You do a contest and you're just like, hey, look, if you one of the first 1,000 people to pay to stream this movie, you can win the chance to watch it in a Zoom meeting with Gal Gadot. You know
that's
they ain't recording nothing. I mean, nobody filming. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we do. And I'm not tripping. Was there a new Mandalorian trailer today?
Yeah, they apparently have some extra footage in it. Didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
I'm not watching.
I'm good. I just
give me the show.
I'm ready.
I'm playing around. You know what I mean? Let's do it.
I'm ready for that. Ready for some WandaVision. I'm ready for that date, but they ain't just not trying to give us that.
Look, it'll come when it comes. You know what I mean? Like right now, they keep filling my timeline. Y'all know that anytime anything Spider-Man happens, people send it to me. It's just kind of it is.
Probably get tagged in the same thing like 50 times.
Murdered with Spider-Verse theories and whatever and what's going on. Ain't nobody sent me nothing I ain't think of already. I already thought of it. Give me all of them. Let's go. Yeah, man. Look. Again, just kind of some food for thought. I think it is really going to be important to consider changing our thought process about how we consume what we consume and how we spend to do it, because we ain't really going to have a choice, I don't think, anytime soon.
Nah.
So look, as we wind down, I need to make sure I remind everybody, make sure you're following us across all social media. I did post the top 10 franchises that on our Loading Snacks page that came from Savepocalypse. Empires will be going up shortly. Again, we're on that race to 10,000, so tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend again. Sin, by all means, if you would read off those top patrons for me, I would appreciate that.
Sure. Shout out to our top tier patrons, which is Anthony Cunningham, Susan Dortch, and Tyrone Carson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Hey, listen, all love, all love. Ty, you right. Tell them to just stream it. But how do they make more money? Because you're already paying them a monthly fee. How do they get more money from you? That's what they're trying to figure out. I don't know if y'all saw this. We're definitely going to talk about this.
Second paywall.
But that second paywall is a real thing. And trust me when I tell you that if they don't either up the price or start throwing, like HBO Max has advertisements in it, and that's starting to piss me off. They didn't used to, but now, like every episode, don't get me wrong, they're showing commercials for their own stuff.
But it's still nonetheless.
Yeah, but it's still. Yeah.
I'm paying top dollar. Like Take these commercials out of here.
You can skip them, but that's work. And by the time I get to the thing, like my controller's usually off. And by the time I turn the controller back on and get
trailers done,
and you've already interrupted my show.
You just, what are you doing? I'm telling you, what you know as streaming services is also going to change fundamentally, because they got to find ways to make more money off of you, technically without charging you. And that's going to require them to add ads, or you're going to have to pay more to avoid ads. It's just, that's what it's going to be. Again, we'll talk about this on Thursday when we do cutscenes, but I don't know if y'all saw that NBA 2K21, like a month after release, just added unskippable ads to the loading screen.
Laughing.
We used to be able to, during the loading screen, you could at least go in and, like, while it was loading, like, modify your lineups for who are your starters and all that kind of stuff. You can't even do that now.
Take this advertisement.
They're just showing ads for, like, the new Oculus.
Wow.
Just straight up. Like, it's a real thing. People are hot, bruh. And it ain't the first time they did it. Trust me. If they're doing it there, because they can get away with it. The streaming services are going to change. It's just, there's no two ways about it. There's no two ways about it. So, I think next week maybe we'll talk about what we might think. We'll see how some of those changes might be. But that's just going to depend on what other crazy news happens.
True.
You know, there's always something crazy coming out.
So listen, Extra Life is November 7th. It is coming very quickly upon us. We will be streaming video games for 24 hours for the benefit of Children's Miracle Network hospitals. All donations will go directly there. Again, we pay for separate hospitals. I personally play for Children's in DC. And did you play for Hopkins last year, Sin?
Yeah, that's what I usually play for.
Yeah. So again, we have a list together of games we will be playing. Look, you can, even if you don't donate, you can join the team. You can jump in and stream, even if it's just for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to do it on the same day, you can actually go to the website and join our team and stream and take donations yourself and play for your own hospital. The more the merrier. We'll be happy to have you do it. Certainly would love to shout people out, even if you're not streaming in the same block that we're in. That is definitely a thing. We appreciate you, Eric, for sure. So y'all keep your eyes open for that. A lot of people who did purchase their breast cancer shirts, charity shirts from us, got their shirts today. That's awesome. I will be looking for people who bought shirts from us, either the breast cancer shirts or our other shirts. I'll be putting a little something out, asking people to take pictures and upload their pictures to Instagram or Facebook and use a particular hashtag. And for each one, I will be personally donating a certain amount for Extra Life myself. And anybody who's interested in getting in on the swear jar for that day.
Because
I'm ready for that.
I'm going to need it. I'm going to need it. If I got phasmophobia by myself, I'm going to need a full swear jar.
You just need to go ahead and toss, get a prepaid card and just load it or something. Because your credit card.
He did it last year. Actually, he just threw like 25 in the swear jar off the break.
Oh, for that horror one? Oh, you're just going to need to bring up Benjamin. Just
yeah, I might just have to drop a whole joint in there. Just here you go. Just take 100 because if I'm by myself, like, look, pardon me, but I'm scared this thing's about to fly.
It's real. It's real. I might just take a break and watch that.
It's about to come in your place and randomly knock on your door.
You don't do that.
Don't get your ass killed, please. Don't get your ass killed.
That'd be so bad. I will do just that, Eric. Absolutely. Yeah. Check your mail, Anthony, and I gotta get with you. I do have your other shirt too, so I just need to get with you and get that to you. I can just drive it out to you. I'm off Friday, so maybe we'll do that Friday. Yeah. So the swear jar, when we do Extra Life, Leah, so last year we decided to put together a swear jar. None of us were allowed to curse, and if you did, you had to put like $2 in the jar every time, and then that money we then donated
Right.
directly in. So we donated to ourselves, but
hey, that was a good donation last year.
Go ahead with all that, Mark. Go ahead with all that.
Oh yeah. Nah, listen. All right, I already tapped into his Google password joint.
Go ahead
I'm
with
gonna
all
have
that.
it a lot. Yeah, and don't randomly ask, hey, what's that behind you? None of that. He's not gonna turn around.
I'm gonna have everybody on mute. I don't want to hear y'all.
All right, so again, Extra Life, November 7th, 24 hours of streaming. We will be streaming we're actually doing a dry run on Friday because we're testing some new things out because this is the first year. Usually we all get together and we're all in one place. Like we're here in our studio. We hook up a bunch of TVs and we're all together, and it's just really good because it's just camaraderie and all that kind of stuff, couch co-op and so forth. Even though we're all playing on our own boxes with individual TVs, but we're all together.
Right.
This is the first year that we're really doing this all from individual places and trying to stream technically to our individual Twitch channels and then all of us at once to our Loading Snacks Twitch channel.
Right.
So it's going to be a little tricky. We're doing a dry run. We're going to try to work everything out. I'm looking into something. If you're interested in stuff like that, there is a little something you might want to look into called Parsec. Just like you think it is. It's Star Wars related.
Nice try, Eric, but I see my feed here.
It is about streaming games and stuff like that at a really high clip so people can play demos and stuff like that. So Parsec. Might want to look into that. All right, so listen, I think we're going to wrap it up. It's been a great show. We love you all. Thank you, everybody, for joining the chat, for being in the chat. Awesome. Tony, I'm glad you got your shirt. Mari, check your box because your shirt's probably in there. And I'm going to try to get everybody probably next Wednesday to wear their new Loading Snacks breast cancer shirts and get a bunch of pictures. So I'll send something out so everybody knows. Oakley dokley, y'all. It's been real. With that, we're out. Toodles and loos. What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.